Welcome to another weekly S&P 500 analysis. Today is November 23rd, 2025. We are heading into the last week of November. So we'll be basically watching this S&P 500. And just let me remind you, where is that market pricing in for the month of November? As you can see, last week it came down close to the lower range of that monthly expected move. And the lower edge is 65.20, and the low on Friday was 65.2192. So you can see that it came down pretty close to what the market was projecting. So right now the question is, will the month of November and will they close above this level here? So let's take a look at what the market is pricing in for the coming week here. For the coming week, the market is actually pricing in a downside move, the lower range between 64.68 and 64.20. So definitely is below that 6,500. Now on the upside, it is pricing in 67.52.50 and 67.38. So as you can see, we were watching this 65.50, this potential support level here for the week, and it broke it, but it did come back up on Friday and close above it. So for the coming week, we basically to see, will it hold this level? If it holds this level, then we're basically looking for a move up to the upper range of the expected move, and that would also cause the S&P 500 to close inside the range for November. Now, if it doesn't hold this 65.50, then I expect the price to come down and break the 6,500 and move into this lower range, and even possibly come down to the 63.57.59, this next level of potential support. So that's basically what I'm watching right now, and definitely the trend is making a lower high and a lower low. So we are seeing a little bit of a near-term downtrend. And here looking at the ES, the E-mini S&P 500, you can see on Friday, the low actually came down just a little bit below this 65.30, this month of November lower range bottom edge. The low was 65.25, so it was 5 handle below this low edge here. And here's what the market is pricing in for the coming week. So the market is pricing in the lower range between 6,500 and 64.30, and the upper range is somewhere around 67.77.50 and 67.63. So we can see that the price will, could be filling in this little bit of a low volume area a little bit more before it makes a move either back up to the upper range or come down to the 6,500 level and into the lower range. And that would definitely put that close below the November range here, because if it comes down to 6,500, then it will essentially book this monthly range. So those are the levels that we'll be watching for to see would it be able to come back up into the 67.77 area or come down, break the 6,500 and get into this high volume area here. So look for a little bit of a chop, then make a move, all right, either up or down. Yep, it is either up or down. Your guess is just as good as mine. And looking at the SPY, the ETF for the S&P 500, you can see it also came down to the lower monthly range here. So right now, the market is pricing in for the coming week with the upper range somewhere between 673.30 or 672.30. So it might be 673.70 and 672.30. And the lower range is between 645.80 and 640. So again, we're basically looking to see would it be able to break this high volume node here and move up to the upper range. If it is unable to break through this high volume zone, then we'll look for a little bit of a chop inside of this low volume area and come down and back into the 645, 640 area. And that's essentially coming down to this high volume area and into the low range of the weekly expected move. And here's the NQ, the E mini Nasdaq 100 future here. We see that the NQ actually dipped below the monthly expected range here. It went below this 24,400 last week. See, on Thursday it closed below that and tried to make an effort to come back above it on Friday, but it still was unsuccessful. So right now, we're basically looking for a little bit of a chop here at this low volume area, and maybe we'll see a little bit more consolidation and fill in this area. And here's what the market is pricing in for the coming week. So for the coming week, the market is pricing in the upper range between 25,000.75 and 25,025. And the low range somewhere between 23,697 and a quarter and 23,425. So basically what we're going to be watching for is to see would it be able to come up to this high volume no and pushes up into this upper range of the weekly expected move, and then we probably get a rejection coming back down and maybe end the week and end the month somewhere in this low volume area. Now if it is unable to get up there and come back down, then we're basically looking for it to come down to this low volume, to this lower range, this high volume area, and possibly chop around in this distribution here. And then we'll also bring it down to this 23,000 area. So that's basically what we'll be watching for the coming week for the NQ. And so as you can see, the QQQ also moved below the monthly lower range and dipped below this 591. And what we're going to be watching for is these levels that the market is pricing in for the coming week. And the market is pricing in the upper range between 608 and 605.50. And in the lower range, for the lower range is between 574.60 and 568. So again, we're basically looking for the price to see would it be able to come up to this high volume area and push up into the upper range, or just kind of chop around in this low volume area, then dip down to this lower range and get into this high volume area between this low range at 574.60 and 568. So those are the price levels that we'll be keeping an eye on for the coming week. And if you'd like to get a more detail in my daily trade level, then go and visit my newsletter at smtraderCA. I have the link in the description below. Good luck on your trading, and thank you for watching. If you like the content, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to this channel, click the subscribe icon to subscribe and help support this channel. Now, for more content from me, go visit my newsletter at smtraderCA.substack.com. You will find trade ideas, daily trade plans, weekly market review and analysis, trading tutorial and strategies, and much more in my newsletter, The Pulse of the Market. And the link is smtraderCA.substack.com.